Hello and welcome to your yoga class today with Nicole and my daughter Finley and Scarlett. So let's start sitting in easy sitting position, sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, crown of the head reaching upwards. Just rest your palms on your knees and find your breath. Feel free to close your eyes if you'd like to, or just have a gentle gaze down your cheeks. Bring your awareness to any part in your body that is having some tension or some discomfort. Observe that tension, observe that discomfort. Try maybe to identify it with a color and maybe look at it from the outside of your body like you're looking in. When we do this with our emotions, we're able to kind of view emotions a little differently. Instead of attaching to the emotions, we're simply observing the emotions, and therefore we're able to easily release them instead of harboring onto them and maybe creating stories about them that make it harder to let go. So just notice anywhere possibly you're holding tension from stress from your morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you find yourself as you're watching this. And just observe it. Send some breath and release and soften that area. That tension, that stress, it's not serving you. So therefore, let's let it go. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here. Sitting up nice and tall. And now let's gently bring the left ear to the left shoulder. If you'd like a deeper stretch, using that hand to bring the neck further down, stretching the side of the neck, and lift the head up to the right side, right ear, right shoulder. And bring the head up. Inhale the arms to the sky, intertwining your fingers and pushing the palms up, really lengthening out here. The shoulders, wonderful stretch. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale the right arm up and over to the left, looking skyward. Pushing into the earth with your left hand to really increase that side body stretch. Inhale, exhale, bring your stretch to the opposite side. So we're stretching over to the left side, reaching the arm up on that diagonal, looking skyward if that feels great on your neck. If not, you can always look towards the ground. Really stretching, pushing into the earth with your right hand. Really stretch that left side. I feel the stretch all the way down to my hip. I really love side stretches. All right. And we're going to come sitting, reach the arms up one more time, pressing the palms together to your heart center. Let's walk our hands out to the center, rounding the spine, looking down towards your belly button. Push your hands into the ground to increase that stretch in your spine. And then let's walk our hands to the left side. Remembering to breathe. And then walk your hands to the right side. This is my little beagle, Roxy. She apparently wants to do some yoga today. Stretch. Okay, and let's come to a table. Come to a table, making sure your knees are under your hips, your wrists are under your shoulders. A few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, looking up, releasing the belly to the ground in a cow, and then curving the spine, pushing the earth away with your hands, rounding the spine up into cat. And again, starting with your tailbone, rolling the spine one vertebrae at a time all the way to your neck as you lengthen up. And starting with your tailbone, rounding, curving, pushing into your cat. Finding your neutral table. Let's just wag the tail back and forth, side to side. And then let's gaze over to the right. So it's like you're trying to look at your right hip. Really curving that side, using your oblique muscles to contract over. And then go through your center, bless you, looking over to your opposite side. So really curving the side, crunching the side body in. We're up on our knees. And then coming back to a neutral table.
What's this?
Let's elongate the left leg out, so stretching the calf here. We're just stretching the calf right now. And bringing the knee back to your table, and let's switch to the opposite side. So stretching the calf, digging the ball of the foot into your mat as you lengthen out, really forcing that heel to move away from your body. Keeping the hips nice in alignment, feeling the stretch through the back of the leg. Pressing the knee back to your table. Let's pull the other leg up again. So pulling the knee, engaging the quad, lengthening through the back of the leg. We're going to go ahead and float that leg up. So trying to keep it like a great big line from your shoulders, your crown of the head, all the way to your heel. Keeping the foot flexed, so toes pointed downwards. Keeping the belly snug, so pulling your belly button towards your spine. And if you'd like to walk the right hand out, and maybe this is as far as you go today, if you'd like to test your balance, go ahead and float the opposite arm up now. So what I want you to do is really pull the fingertips away from your body, pull the feet away from your body, so your body is being pulled in opposition. And then release that. Sink your hips back. Walk your hands out into a child's pose. Roll the spine up. Coming to table, we're going to pull that right foot back, really stretching through the heels. Maybe walking that left hand. Floating the foot up, extending it out to the wall behind you. And if you'd like to float that left arm up. So we have the oppositional here. So I have my left arm pulling me forward, my right leg pushing me back. So really creating space in the midsection, holding it here, engaging all those muscles in the leg, and then release it. Hips to heels, stretch in your child's pose. Breathing. Coming back up to all fours. Let's step your left foot through into a low lunge. Plant your right hand down as we float and twist over, lifting our left arm up. So nice easy twist here. Bring your hand to mat. And then slowly, using your hands as your your prop to pull yourself up into rest in your low lunge. Using blocks here to stabilize if you'd like is a great option. Otherwise, really fight for that balance. Test your body. So we're sinking lower in the hips, pulling the right hip forward, left hip back. Just breathing here, holding this pose, opening the front of the hip. Hands to mat, engage the back toes, fire up the legs. So we're coming up a little higher in our lunge. Readjust your hips so they're nice and square, and then come up to a balance. So we're really working a lot on this left lunge here. Slowly creating that fire within. This is a great way to tone your thighs, great way to test your balance. So you're also working your core and trying to maintain that mind and body connection. So being aware of what's happening within your body, releasing any expectations, and hands to mat. We're going to walk to the side. So bringing the right foot to a flex. So at any degree. And if you'd like to use a block here to place under your sit bones, you most are welcome to do so. And just balance. Holding here, so opening that left knee up, turning out your right leg and holding this position. The block is completely optional. You could totally test your balance here. Sinking a little lower. Bless you. Now removing the block, we're going to slowly bend both legs and then switch to the other side. So placing that block if you'd like. Flexing through the left toes, opening through the right inner thigh. Trying to keep the spine nice and lengthened. It's a little challenging in this position, but I know you can do it. Breathing. And removing the block, we're going to turn all the way, facing the right foot now, dropping the left knee, and finding ourselves in low lunge. Shining the heart forward. Planting the left hand down, we're going to spiral towards that right leg. Just a gentle twist. Hands back to mat and come on up. Again, if you need to use blocks to support your balance today, that's completely fine. Sometimes props are not only helpful, but they're a sense of security, but they're also a way to get deeper into poses, a safe way to do it. Bring your hand to heart center if you'd like, really lengthening through the spine, pulling the belly in to engage the core. Hands to mat, engage the back toes, fire up the thigh. So now we're in a little higher lunge. Shine the heart forward, and then we're going to come all the way up. Using blocks here again, completely fine and a great option. If you'd like to test your balance without them, I encourage you to do so. Holding here. Dropping hands to mat. Let's go ahead and turn it to the side again. So the idea is to get the foot completely flat on the mat in this pose. If your heel is lifted, that's okay. Just know what you're working towards. So we want to lengthen that back Achilles, lengthening through the calf. Hands to mat. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet in and sink our hips low. Opening the knees with our elbows, so pushing out side to side, east and west. Tailbones dropping as the crown of the head is lifted. Breathe. Bringing your hands to the mat, we're going to close our knees together and come up high on our tippy toes for a little toe balance. So using blocks here on the side to help with this is fine. Otherwise, lift really high up on the heels, bring your hands to your heart center, and breathe in balance. Bring your hands to the mat, maintaining that high tippy toe position. We're going to slowly straighten the legs, but still up on our toes. So bringing your blocks over here to prop you up higher is a great idea if you wanted that support. Try to lengthen through the spine, high up on the toes. And let's go ahead and bend the knees again. Come up to your balance. Inhale. Exhale, hands to mat. Lengthen through the legs, holding straight and lengthening back, legs straight. Exhale, bend the knees. Come back to your balance. So you should feel some sensations to maybe burning and tingling in your feet, and that's okay. We're using muscles that we probably don't use a lot. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Now lower the heels. Lengthen through the spine, and then forward fold. You can walk your heel toe your feet just a little bit further than your hips distance and hold opposite elbow. Slight bend in the knees as we sway side to side. Really allowing all the tension of the spine to spill out forward. Making sure the neck is nice and loose. No tension there. And then just drop your hands and come to center. Straighten the legs. We're going to walk our hands out into just like like a middle downward dog. Bending the knees.
No, that's not downward dog.
Sinking the chest towards the mat, coming up on your fingertips so the palms are lifted. Bring the hands back to center. Now we're going to step back into a downward dog. Go to your mat, honey. Go to your mat, please.
No. This is a bird shot.
I need you to go to your mat so I can keep moving. Gently bicycling your knees, so one foot then the other. Whatever you feel is comfortable here, do what you do to get your downward dog a little bit more stretched out. And then come to stillness and breathing. So we're going to do 3 full cycles of breath, gazing through your knees. So inhale through the nose, exhale out of the nose. Last time, inhale, exhale. Bringing the knees to the mat, bending the elbows, chest and chin, holding for 8 points touching, and then slide forward into cobra. Lifting the hips, child's pose. Walking the hands to the right, stretching in the side stretch in your child's pose. Walking through center towards the left. and then back to center. We're going to pull forward, keeping our hips right above our knees, walking your hands out and sink the chest towards the mat. So we're in a puppy pose. This is a really wonderful stretch in the upper back. So if you're working towards full wheel or just a way to open that middle upper back, this is an excellent pose to do every single day. Going to a wall and doing this is great too. I do this multiple times throughout my day. I might hold on to the edge of my kitchen counter and just sink my chest down. It feels really, really great. Tucking the toes, bringing the chest to the thighs, and then pulling back up into downward facing dog. Breathing. Let's lift the left leg up into three-legged dog. So careful not to lift the hips or stack them. We want to keep them nice and level. The goal is not the height of the leg. It's really keeping the hips nice and square as we sink further, our chest further down to the floor. Let's bend that left knee up, stepping it through, spiraling the right leg down. Inhale the arms up, warrior one. Breathing. Sinking down a little lower. And then bring the hands to mat. Stepping back into your plank, we're going to hold this for 3, 2, 1. Hips, heart, chin to the mat. And then bring yourself forward into your cobra. Hips pulled back, child's pose. Coming back up to table, stacking the hips above the knees, walk your hands out, melt the heart forward into your puppy pose. Breathing. And gently come out of that. Tuck your toes, bring your core to your thighs, and lift the hips skyward for downward facing dog. Trying to pull the heels to the earth. Really lengthening, lifting through the kneecaps, so engaging your quads, and breathing. Pressing into the hands. Lifting the right leg up, three-legged dog. Again, don't allow the hips to open. We want to keep them squared off and closed. Bending the knees, stepping it through, spiraling the left leg as we lift up into warrior one. So pulling the hips, left hip forward, right hip back. Shoulders down from the ears, lift through the crown of the head. And then bring hands to mat. Stepping back. Plank, holding 3, 2, 1. Slowly lowering, hovering the shoulders above the mat, and then releasing all the way down. Lifting up into your cobra. What do you mean? Gently bending the knees, sinking the hips towards the heels, resting in child's pose. Coming up to table. We're going to step the left leg forward into that lunge again. Holding the lunge. This time I want you to attempt to bend your right leg in. So the left leg is stepping forward, knee is in line with the ankle. We're going to bend the other leg and try to grab it with the opposite arm. So I have my my right leg bent, and I'm reaching around with my left hand grabbing the toes. Using a block here to get you up higher, or a strap to wrap around the foot to bring it in. Great idea. You may allow that left leg, left knee to open up as you spiral away from the leg. And then gently release that foot. Pull the hips back, flexing the left toes, and find yourself into half splits. Okay.
I was pulling my hand.
And then coming back, we're going to heel toe the foot all the way over, dropping into pigeon. Some people call this sleeping swan. I usually hear it called pigeon. So we're just going to relax onto this pigeon. Now the idea is to keep that leg in a complete right angle, but the majority of the population does not have flexibility in the knee to really curve it to the side. So bringing it into your body is fine, but just so you know, the idea is to continue to work that foot away from the body to get you really into that outer hip. But it's completely understandable. So I'm always wanting people to know, yoga practitioners to know, the goal of the pose. But you never want to push yourself to injury. Just know what maybe you're striving for. It's never too late to get more flexible. And I want you to think about getting up on that straightened leg. So we don't want to sink down on that left hip. And then slowly fold down to the ground. And releasing the heart to the mat. And we're just going to rest here and allow gravity to do the work. And then as you're relaxing here, you're going to notice that your body is gently opening up more and more. So just adjust to allow for that opening. And then walking your hands up, thank you. Lifting through the spine.
Who is Daddy? I don't know who is Daddy.
Okay.
He might be surfing, I don't know.
He's not surfing, honey.
Where's he?
Okay, bend that leg in again for one more time.
He was not in the office.
Okay, honey, I'm sure maybe he's going to the bathroom. Okay, can you go sit over there?
We're
going to bend the right leg in, holding it with the right arm this time. If you'd like a strap to wrap around, that's great. Just going to pull it in. And if you're feeling really good with your balance, reach around for that bind with the hands. And then go ahead and gently release out of that. Tucking the toes, bringing the knee back, finding table, and just shake side to side. And we're going to find our way into the other side. So, bringing that leg, the right leg forward, left leg is back now. It's that low lunge.
What's he doing?
We're going to reach around as we bend the left leg and reach around with the right arm for that wonderful stretch. So if you'd like to allow the right knee to open up as you pull your body and spiral your chest up to the sky, you're welcome to, or you can just stay forward. I love this stretch. It really opens up the front of my hip and my thigh. Just breathe through those areas of discomfort. Try to observe the discomfort like you're from the outside of your body looking in. It changes the perspective. And then release that. Pull the hip back, so stack the hip above the knee and flex that right toe into your half splits. So I mentioned this before in my video about yoga for splits. We don't want to have a rounded spine here. If you round your spine really quick, you notice that the stretch almost goes away. If you flatten your back out, open your heart forward, it really opens up the hamstrings. Bless you. And then coming through that lunge, heel toeing the foot all the way across, sinking down into your pigeon. Keeping that foot flexed. Guys, leave her alone, please. And then sinking the body forward. It's okay. It's okay. And then lifting your body up using your arms to hold your upper body weight. We're going to bend the left knee in. Now remember, every side is different, just like every day is different. I'm going to pull it in for your mermaid stretch. So if you've got the balance, then hold your body up. Bring that leg in. You can use a block here or a strap to bring the arm closer to you. And then let's release out of that. Gently bringing the leg back into a table and just shake your hips side to side. Let's inhale, drop the belly into cow. Exhale, push the earth away as we round up into cat.
Oh, are you right?
You're fine.
I'm fine.
You're okay. Tuck your toes. Lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Breathe here for 3 full cycles of breath. Looking forward, we're going to bring our legs in and we're going to roll onto our spine. We're going to hug our knees into our chest. Bringing your chin up, forehead in close to your knees right now. And then extend everything out and then pull it back in. Inhale, extend out. Exhale in. One last time, inhale. Exhale, bring it in. Let's keep the left leg in as we extend the right leg long on the mat, dropping your head. Please stop, honey. I'm almost done. Flexing both feet, we're going to lift the left leg up to the sky. So really pulling through that heel, lifting upwards. Bringing the leg in closer to the body if you can. And then gently opening it to the side at any degree, but keeping both hips attached to the floor. So we don't want to lift here just to get the leg over. That's not the goal. The goal is just to stretch that inner thigh. Then we're going to bring the leg up and over to the opposite side just a little. Hug the knee in. And then switch legs. So we're hugging in our right leg. Both feet are super flexed, sending the right leg up to the sky, bringing it in. So I like to hold behind my thigh. If you'd like to hold behind your calf, you're welcome to. Just pulling it in any degree you'd like. And then opening it to the side, keeping that left hip down. Okay, baby. And then bringing it through center, stretching to the other side. Bending the knee in. And then go ahead and hug both knees in again, bringing your forehead to meet your knees. And relax the spine to the mat, holding the pinky side of your feet, just rocking back and forth in happy baby. And then releasing that, we're going to keep our right knee in as we spiral over for a wonderful twist. Then bringing the legs to your center, and we're going to twist to the opposite side. Really focus on keeping the shoulder blades engaged with the floor, trying not to allow that left shoulder to lift up. Go ahead and bring the knees in, hug them in, make yourself as tight as you can, the smallest little ball, and then open out into Shavasana. So do any last minute pose that you need to do to find a tad bit more space. I often like to do plow and a shoulder stand and then end in fish pose before I do Shavasana. But that's just kind of hard to explain over video, especially if all that is not in your practice. It's better to do in person so you can have the right props propping you up. All right, so let's find ourselves in Shavasana. Go ahead and get any last minute wiggles out. Gently close your eyes. Come back to your breath if you've forgotten it and your mind has wandered and gone elsewhere. Come back to your breath. It truly is one of the only constants in our life is our breath. Our breath can ground us, but the opposite end, it can also stir up all sorts of anxiety. But let's find a slow paced breath, inhaling deeply, filling the diaphragm completely, and then exhaling, releasing all that doesn't serve you in this moment. Closing your eyes and just breathe. Bring the awareness back to your body, moving the hands and the feet, possibly stretching overhead, slight arch in the back. And then on your exhale, roll over to one side, pausing for a moment. Give your body thanksgiving and gratitude for showing up for your practice today. Yoga is a form of self-care, and if you are taking care of yourself, your family will be also being taken care of. Coming back into your easy sitting position, so arriving where we started our practice, long spine, keeping the eyes closed, lifting through the crown of the head. Bringing your hands to your heart center and gently bowing the head down so your breath, you might feel your breath on your fingertips. It's so important to pause every day and take a moment for ourselves, for healing, for creating space in the mind and the body. So I'm proud of you for showing up today for you and for the world. It means more than you know. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.